All right, so I have a little bit of a dilemma. I've got two night vision helmets. I need to sell one because I'm not going to use both. And I've got an OpsCore, right? And I've got my Team Wendy. And previously I kind of showed the difference, how the Team Wendy has all this nice padding on the inside. But the OpsCore has that. I mean, that's pretty terrible. Basically, you've got some padding in the front, a little in the back, and these two spots right here. The problem with this padding is because it doesn't spread the load out over a wide area, you get a pressure point, especially for me right here. My head shape is kind of odd. I don't have this crown here. My head is more sloped like this. So I have to run extra thick padding up here. And when I do that, all that pressure pressing right here on the top of your head, it starts to get uncomfortable after a couple hours. It's not so bad with the Team Wendy. The Team Wendy's fine. The problem is the Team Wendy, no matter how much I adjust it or how much padding I add, it sits too low because of that slope of my forehead. So my goggles are below my eyes, and there's not enough height adjustment to raise them up to where they're in a comfortable spot. The OpsCore, because I can run this super thick pad, I can get the correct height. So for my head, really this is the only way to go. The problem is it's not very comfortable, and when you look at this, you've got hard foam and then about 1/4 of an inch of this kind of memory foamy stuff. But that's not very good. After waiting a couple weeks, I picked up one of these, the Lux Liner kit. So I'm gonna put that in and see how that is. So just remember, here's the before. So not a lot of padding. Okay, let's get this installed. All right, so I just took these off. I've been wearing for about 5 hours, just sitting around my house, drinking beer, just looking like a weirdo sitting on my couch in night vision. Yeah, 5 hours, no hot spots, no headaches, totally comfortable. The only drawback I found was I'm a little bit sweaty. Whoops, sorry about that. Take these off. A little bit sweatier, but when you have extra padding, that's just going to happen. So let me turn the exposure up. I'm using the 3/4 inch, all the triple thick padding, which gives me enough padding to raise it up higher. So my night vision lines up with my eyes. I mentioned that was a problem for me earlier. It does come with a full complement of 3 thicknesses. So it's a full set of 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4 inch. So you can really customize the fit however you want. Here's what it replaced. This head bondage looking thing. It's actually not that bad. This portion's not that uncomfortable. It's just having just these 2 pads to spread the load on top of your head, especially when you tighten down the chin strap and you've got all the weight of the nods on there. Yeah, it just it was lacking. Incidentally, before I tried these, I tried the Zorbium, Zorbium foam is what they call it, but it's the Team Wendy Epic Air liner, which worked okay, but because it doesn't have this hard impact foam, they have to make up for that by using more, I guess, stiff padding. It's like a 2-stage. There's like a really thick foam underneath and then like a thin layer above it, kind of sandwiched. So it's not super squishy and it's not very thick. So even when I like built up the layers, it still really wasn't high enough to get the helmet off my head. When you look at the Team Wendy, you can see I added a ton of padding to try to build it up for my head. And of course that basically blocks all the air on the inside. And it still isn't quite high enough for to run with my 15s. So the worm dial, whatever. It's not really an improvement. It doesn't make it worse. It's just there. Don't really know really pros and cons about it. It's just different. As far as durability, we'll see. I've got a class in May that I'm going to run it. And that night we're going to do some hopefully hog hunting, maybe coyote hunting, maybe just run around with night vision and playing mall ninja stuff. So we'll see how all that works out. Incidentally, one nice thing is I don't actually have to raise my mount all the way up now. I can actually slide it down just a little bit. So I've got a few more options for how I can run my goggles. So yeah, overall, super happy. These aren't cheap. The entire liner was $191 straight from OpsCore, and it took about 4 or 5 weeks before they could even ship it, because they typically don't keep a lot of stuff in stock, and typically I guess everything goes out to the military first, so it took a while to get. But for me, totally worth it. Again, not cheap, almost the same cost as the helmet, but I mean, it's night vision, so nothing's going to be cheap. So anyway, if you have an OpsCore helmet and this isn't doing it for you, this is really the only game in town as far as I can see. But super comfortable. I'd say it's equal to, or maybe even slightly more than, the Team Wendy, just because of the extra ventilation and just the fact that this is really, really soft foam. So it really kind of squishes down around your head. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer them. Right?